Hello and welcome to our lesson today on solving discount problems. So as an introduction, when something's on sale, how can you calculate what you will pay? So if something's on sale for 75% and the original price is $20, how much would you actually pay? So that is what we're going to be working on today. So here's the process, and I'm going to talk through this on the example slides. So just know that this is here if you want to kind of revisit this and read through it. But I'm going to go ahead and talk through it in the example slides. So you want to buy a pair of $60 shoes. There's a 30% sale. What is the sale price? So the original selling price, that's the price before it goes on sale. So our original selling price is $60. And now it's on sale. And that sale amount we call the discount. So the discount amount is how much we're going to subtract from the selling price. Now we calculate the discount amount by looking at the percent of the sale. So if we have a 30% sale, now what we need to do is we need to find 30% of the $60, and that will tell us how much the discount is. And I'm going to show you with fraction multiplication, ratio tables, and double number line. So let's start with fraction multiplication. So to find the discount amount, the amount I'm going to subtract, I need to find 30% of the selling price of $60. And using fraction multiplication, we take our percent, we write it as a fraction, 30 per 100. When you're taking a fraction of a quantity, that means we are multiplying, and then we can write our 60. Remember, when we do fraction multiplication, any whole number we need to turn into a fraction by putting it over 1. Or we're going to turn that whole number to an improper fraction. And now we can simplify before we do this multiplication. So 30 over 100, those are both divisible by 10. So that turns into 3 over 10. And we can even simplify this 10 and 60. Those are also both divisible by 10. So 10 divided by 10 is 1. 60 divided by 10 is 6. And now we can go ahead and multiply numerators and denominators. So numerator is 3 times 6, denominator is 1 times 1, and we get 18 over 1, which is 18. So our discount amount, we're going to subtract $18. So after we subtract the $18, we're going to pay the sale price. So doing that subtraction real quick, I need to regroup here, make that a 10, and we get $42. So what we would actually pay is $42, and obviously we'd have to pay tax too, which would make it more, but the sale price is $42. Now let's look at the same example using a ratio table. So again, we start with the $60 for the selling price. It's on sale for a discount of 30%. And let's go ahead and see how we'd use a ratio table. Remember, percents are simply part to whole relationships. The unique thing is that the whole amount is always out of 100. So 30% is 30 out of 100. And we want to see what is the part if the whole amount is 60. Now there's no easy way to go from 100 to 60 in one step. So we need to put a middle step in so that we can get to 60. Well, let's go ahead and simplify 30 over 100. Similar to simplifying the fraction, we can divide by 10. And we get 3 over 10. And now we can scale up by 6 to get to 60. So we scale up our 3 to get to 18. So notice we got the same discount amount of $18. So then we subtract $18 and we get our sale price of $42. And now using a double number line, again, we should get exactly the same thing. This is just another technique, another method. So if we are paying 100% of the price, we are going to be paying $60. And we want to figure out what is 30%. So again, I like to do 50% just as kind of a benchmark, and then 10%. And if I do 10%, I'll be able to go back up to that 30%. So half of 60 is 30. And now I know 30% is less than 50%. So I know my answer should be less than 30. Okay? All right, so what is 10%? Well, 100% divided by 10 is 10%. 60 divided by 10 gives me 6. So 10% is 6. Also notice 50 divided by 5 is 10. 30 divided by 5 is 6. All right, so now we need to figure out what 30% is. So you can either just fill in the table or know that 10 times 3 is 30. So 6 times 3 is 18. So notice we got the same discount amount. We're going to subtract $18 and we get a final sale price of $42. All right, so here's another example. I've already done all the work, but another example for you to look at. So this time we want a $48 video game. It's on sale for 75% off. What's the sale price? So we want 75% of 48. So 75 over 100 simplified is 3 over 4 times 48. The 4 and 48 simplified, and we get a discount of $36. So we would only pay $12 for that video game. Here's what it looks like for a ratio table. Again, taking that 75 over 100, simplifying to 3 to 4, scaling up with a discount of 36. And here's a double number line. So here, if we find that 50% is 24, we could find 10%, but that doesn't really help us that much. So what I do when I'm doing 25% or 75% is I just take half of 50%, because half of 50% is 25%. So half of 24 is 12. And now I know 3 times 25 is 75. 3 times 12 is 36. And our discount is 36, so the sale price is $12. All right, here's an on your own. Go ahead and use any method. I will show all 3 methods after you try it here. So you could use any of the 3 methods and see if you could find out the selling price if you want to buy a $70 jacket that's on sale for 40% off. All right, so a familiar number, $42, and the 40% discount would be $28. So 40 over 100 times 70 gives 28. 70 minus 28 is 42. This is what it would look like in a ratio table. Notice you could simplify 40 over 100 all the way down to 2/5, but 4/10 actually makes it a little easier to get to 70, but either way would work. And here's a double number line. All right, one more on your own. So you want to buy a $36 hydro flask. There's a 25% sale. What is the sale price? All right, so 25% of 36 would get you a $9 discount. So $36 original selling price minus the $9 discount means you are going to pay $27 plus tax, of course. Here's the ratio table, and finally the double number line. All right, so that'll do it for our solving discount problem lesson.